It's also convenient that there's like mirrors like right there.
Michael, we're rolling.
Oh no! You guys got a little look behind the scenes.
Well, welcome to the Drive-In Movie
Welcome
Podcast.
to the Drive-In Movie Podcast.
Now playing
The Death of a Unicorn.
The Death of a Unicorn.
Right.
We're still getting out the kinks of this.
Right.
It's only episode 2. And we may or may not be filming right after we filmed our first episode.
Yeah, I mean, we might have taken a 30-second break.
It's been a good couple days of movies,
I
think. It's
been
a fun
It's been a good couple
days.
of weeks, honestly.
Very different movies.
We saw like 4 movies like in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah,
right?
We saw Mickey 17, we saw Novocaine, we saw Snow White, and we got to see a week early, Death of a Unicorn.
And we saw Death of a Unicorn on
Thursday.
Yeah. Was it really only a couple days ago?
A couple days ago.
Wow.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Well, our audience, if they're listening to this podcast or watching this the first day it dropped, they probably haven't seen Death of a Unicorn.
Oh, it's not out when this is
not out yet. It won't be out when this is out. So,
we were lucky enough to get to see this early.
Thank you, A24, for letting us go. You're probably confused because this is like episode 2, so why does A24 know about us?
Well, Berkan's kind of a big deal.
Shameless plug. I'm your host, Big Screen Berkan.
I'm Michael.
This is Michael. But Michael and I have been making content together for a while.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a Big Screen Berkan sidekick.
I wouldn't say you're sidekick. You and I are equal partners. We're equal partners in this journey.
Gotcha.
Let's go straight into Death of a Unicorn, shall we?
Sure.
We got that, and we still got to talk about Daredevil, which I'm so excited to talk about Daredevil with you. So let's get through Death of a Unicorn. How many Michaels would you give Death of a Unicorn?
I'd say out of 10 Michaels, 6.5.
6.5 Michaels. I am giving Death of a Unicorn 8 Michaels.
And you know what? Even though I'm giving it less, I can understand why you would give it more. Like, I can understand why anyone would give it more.
Yeah, I thought Death of a Unicorn was awesome. First of all, Death of a Unicorn, it's Paul Rudd, Jenna Ortega. It's a thriller that really lends itself more as a dark comedy.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a more gory Jurassic Park, but not quite as spooky as Jurassic Park.
One of the trailers made it look so scary.
Yeah, they framed it up as such a scary movie.
But it's a funny movie.
They're cracking jokes all the time.
Yeah.
And every joke I felt like was written for me. Their writers were like, this joke isn't Berkan enough. Let's tweak it to be for Berkan to make Berkan laugh.
Really
they succeeded. I was laughing the whole time.
You really like the for science line.
Yeah, there's a point in this movie, right? God, I can't remember his name.
The character's name was...
No, I can't remember the actor's name.
William Putner?
Yes.
Will Putner?
Something like that. He's in...
Will Putner?
He's in We're the Millers. He's the guy who's nuts.
Was he
bitten by a tarantula. He is in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Was he in The Maze Runner?
He was in The Maze Runner. Yeah, he was kind of like the bully kid. And in this movie, he snorts unicorn.
He snorts a unicorn horn.
Unicorn horn does.
Like they grinded up the unicorn horn.
And before he snorts it, spoiler warning, he goes, for science.
Yeah.
He,
it was so funny.
Throughout the movie, he's finding different ways to use the unicorn as a drug. I thought it was hilarious.
It was good.
I really thought this movie was awesome. I love the comedy. I love the suspense of it. There are things that I didn't like about it, but you were lower on it than me, so why don't you go first?
Well, I really liked it. And it's a unique concept, which I think we definitely need more of, because a lot of stuff now is... Thank you. There's popcorn all over me. I've been nibbling on popcorn. Oh, you were adjusting the mic.
Yeah. Now you got some popcorn on you.
All right. Thanks, Mom. It was definitely an original concept, which I appreciate, because I feel like a lot of things now are remakes or sequels or something like that. And so I appreciate the fact that I was like, I've never seen anything like this before. I will say, however, after they've been chased by a unicorn for a while, the concept started to get tired. Like, there's a lot of development of the world where, the unicorn kind of dies and they're doing this research on it and all this kind of stuff, and they're figuring stuff out about the unicorn. And then it's like in Jurassic Park when the dinosaurs get loose, right? And then after so long, I'm like, geez, I feel like we've been doing the same thing for a while now.
It was very predictable. I will say, like, that's one of my complaints, and that's why I didn't think it was like a 10 out of 10, because I felt, the unicorn's basically, I mean, there's spoilers in this by now, right? We probably should be less spoilery, just because this is coming out before people have seen it. But the unicorn deaths, like, the unicorns go on this rampage, And like,
but that's kind of in the trailer.
Yeah,
too.
it's in the trailer. It's called Death of a Unicorn. You see it in the trailer, but it's very like it's exactly how you would think it would be over and over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole plot of it is very predictable, but I still thought it was awesome. Like at the end, even though I knew it was coming, I was like, oh, yeah. I love freaking unicorns. I'm so for unicorns.
Yeah, I don't think there was ever like a point in this movie where I was surprised by what happened.
Yeah. Like I wasn't like, this is something that I think is really important in movies like this. I need to be stressed. Like you need to peak my stress levels. I need to feel some type of anxiety.
Yeah.
Like I need to be like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous about what's going to happen to these characters I have an attachment to. But it is a miss when I don't have that. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I already kind of know how it's going to go, it takes away from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now the movie, like I said, it's awesome. And it's funny, and I love the visuals of it. I thought like the gore was like a good amount of gore where it was not like overbearing.
Yeah.
But it was like just enough.
Yeah.
So like I loved all that. So that kept it at like an 8. But yeah, very predictable. There's not really a lot of suspense in that sense.
Mm-hmm. I'd agree with you.
I think one jump scare too. There's one scare that I was like, that was spooky. But the rest of it I was like,
Yeah. I'd agree with you. And I think all the actors did incredible.
Yeah.
You know,
Paul Rudd.
He's
so good at this type of character. And Jenna Ortega.
She's like one of the only people that I feel like is in her 20s but can play a teenager so well.
Yeah, she plays a teen so well. Mm-hmm. I am getting a little bit nervous about Jenna Ortega.
Why?
Because I'm starting to feel like I'm seeing you as the same character over and over and over again. I need to see something different.
Well, she's going to have to age out of it is the thing.
It's not the age, it's like the look, it's like the type of character, it's like moody teenager. Got it. I get it.
No, yeah. Even though in this movie she's 20, she's like, I mean, okay, she's 1 year older than a teenager.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like I'm seeing all the same character in everything.
Yeah, agreed.
And so that is something that I do.
Different degrees of Wednesday Adam.
Yeah, and that's something I want to see more from her going forward is like, I want to see you do something different now. Mm-hmm. But I don't think she necessarily wants to, which is fine.
She was Wednesday. She was in the Goose. Not
she was in
Beetlejuice. And now she's doing this. And so
then she did another movie which was also, I can't remember the name of it, but it was kind of uncomfortable.
Oh.
I think she had sex with a lot older guy.
That's the
like
thing.
That.
I don't like seeing.
But she was like moody in the sense.
And this is my problem, but I don't like seeing her in like romantic scenes because I'm like, to me in my head, I'm like, you're a child, right? Like, she was in like a music video with Sabrina Carpenter, I think.
Yeah.
And I think they kiss in it.
Even that, she's playing the same character.
Yeah, but in my head, I'm like, that's a child. What are you doing? You know? Like, even though I know she's like a full grown adult, it's like I see Wednesday Addams. Yeah. Like she's so good at playing a teenager, and she's just small and has like a kid face that I'm like
voice.
And voice. So when I see her trying to be an adult, I'm kind of like, are you allowed to be? You know, does your mom know you're out right now?
Yeah. Yeah. So I hope she did, because I think she is really like, she's a really good actress.
Oh yeah.
Like she's not like playing this the same over and over again in like the same like monotone. She does it so
she
well.
Kills it.
I know she can do other things better.
Yeah.
I just want to see it now.
I think she'll have the opportunity.
Yeah.
You know.
Death of the Unicorn though, I also think like it's gonna be such a fun movie. Like at parties, drinks are flowing, you guys are having like pizza and just have it on. It's gonna be. I think Death of a Unicorn is gonna have a cult.
I think the first half of it is gonna be great for like in the backgrounds at parties. The second half of it's gonna be strange because it's dark, like visibly dark.
Yeah.
And there's gore and there's yelling and screaming and
I don't know. I really think
I have a funny story actually.
Oh, okay.
This is completely off topic.
Okay.
When I was in college, I went to this co-op. Do you know what a co-op is?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, it's like this building where people live together and they do chores together, like and they do composting and like weird stuff like that. Like it's a bunch of, in my mind, because this was in Austin, right? I don't know if this is different in different places, but it's a bunch of people who get together and pay lower rent, but in exchange they have like a chore schedule and do a bunch of hippie stuff. And so I went to this co-op party, and because it's a bunch of hippies, they do like weird things. Like at the party, they're not playing like the typical party music. They're playing like emo music. Like they're playing like Welcome to the Black Parade, and like, you know, like when I was a young boy, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. They're playing like Smells Like Teen Spirit by Nirvana or something like that. And they're projecting on a wall Danny Darko. Like the full Danny Darko movie. You can't hear it, but there's subtitles. And it's like, have you seen Danny Darko?
Mm-mm. I've never heard Danny Darko. So I'm kind of confused.
Okay, it's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, okay.
So it's this like, I'll tell you about it later, but it's weird because it's basically like a movie about a kid with schizophrenia, maybe.
Cool.
So it's not it's a weird vibe.
Okay.
And I'm like, who's coming to a party? And for the record, over 100 people there. This is like a big building.
It's Jake Gyllenhaal. It's like it's a blown up Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
It's nice to look at.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a guy wearing like in the movie. There's like this guy wearing a bunny suit, and like somebody gets hit by a car, and like a plane crashes into a house. Spoiler alert! And it's like, what are we doing right now? Like, why are we watching this?
I think Death of the Unicorn would be a better party movie.
Okay.
Just because like, it is like it's funny and it does like the gore and stuff. The way the deaths are, it's something you could cheer about, right? You can like laugh about. Like it's fun. Like it's a fun movie to have on. And like I said, the gore's not like overwhelming to where somebody's like, "Oh my gosh, I hate this." And even though it's like it's dark and sometimes it's visually dark too, that hides, yeah, that hides the it hides kind of the grossness of some of the gore in this movie. So I don't know. I think it would be fun. I can see this as like a legitimate cult following.
Yeah.
In like 10 years maybe.
Something else we used to do in college, we used to play drinking games with Star Wars Episode 3, which I know you would love because that's your favorite movie of all time.
Why have I never heard of this?
I mean, there's so many drinking games with it, but the one that we would do is because we tried the ones that we would find online, but the one we ended up just making and going with because it's so easy is just drink every time Obi-Wan has a one-liner. So it's all the time.
Can we do it?
It's like, oh yeah.
Okay, here we go. Patreon exclusive. This is a perfect time to plug, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith releases in theaters April 29th. Oh. It re-releases, okay?
Okay.
I'm giving that as a deadline. I don't think we can actually go drink at like a movie theater and play this drinking game.
Yeah.
But
why not? Because they serve alcohol at this theater we went to.
That could get pricey. But
okay.
What I'm saying, and plus we can't do what I'm about to suggest. All right, we have a Patreon page, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Drive-In Movie Pod Patreon page. If we get, this is a very large goal, right? If we can get 20 Patreons by April 29th, by Revenge of the Sith re-release.
Wow.
We'll film us playing the drinking game to Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
We'll film it and it'll be a Patreon exclusive video.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Okay, so 20 Patreons. You know, and there's not just like $5 tiers, the $10 tiers, which if you want the $5 and $10 tiers, there are bonus stuff. There are bonus stuff. But you could just donate $1. Yeah. So if 20 people spend $20, you can watch Michael and I lose our minds drunk.
And we'll add a rule. We'll drink every time Obi-Wan has a one-liner or anytime Anakin is whiny.
We're not going to remember the next day. We're not going to remember it.
No.
We're not going to remember to stop recording.
But we've seen it 20 times.
Yeah, but we're not going to. The amount of times we're going to have to drink. I'm genuinely concerned we're not going to remember to stop recording.
Well, that will mean that we had fun doing it.
That's true. All right, so that's the 20. Yeah. If 20 people become a Patreon, we will give this gift to the world.
Dude, it's so funny because when you're watching that movie with these rules in mind, you're like, everything Obi-Wan says, he never actually talks. Everything is a one-liner. He'll be like, sorry, Master, I was going for the droids. And Obi-Wan will be like, good job. It's like, it's like,
hello there.
Hello there. Yeah, no, seriously.
Like the one-liners of one-liners.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
You have done that to yourself. It's like everything is like kind of witty and clever and quick, and it's like, yeah.
Okay, I need to talk about Daredevil. I can't hold it.
Oh, we didn't even really talk about
Death and Unicorn. We talked about it. Okay, it had its problems. It was great. Yeah. It had its problems.
I guess if we talk about it anymore, we'll start going into spoilers.
Yeah, like I don't want to spoil it. I want them to go watch Death and Unicorn. But I want to talk about Daredevil more.
Okay.
So I finally got Michael to catch up and binge through. By the time we're recording this,
I did.
Only 4 episodes are releasing. The next 2 episodes are releasing in a couple days because they're releasing episode 5 and 6 together. Because episode 5 is going to be short. I've been dying to hear your reactions. Okay.
Okay.
Preface, whatever the wording is. I love the original Netflix show. I've seen it twice. I love Daredevil. I'm a massive fan of this iteration, so I was very excited for Daredevil Born Again. I was even at the premiere for Daredevil Born Again. I've interviewed the head of Marvel Television about Daredevil Born Again. I've talked to directors. I've talked to producers. I am all in on this show.
You basically helped make the show.
I basically am Daredevil Born Again.
No, yeah, you're literally.
So I love this show. So I've been waiting weeks for you to watch it. So you finally watch it.
You have been telling me over and over again. You're like, you need to watch it. You need to watch it.
And how do you feel?
I like it. I think I'd give it 7 out of 10.
Seven Michaels?
I think I'd give it 7 Michaels.
You're giving the first half 7 Michaels.
So here's the thing. Episodes 3 and 4 better than episodes 1 and 2. So I might rate episodes 3 and 4 higher than 7.
I agree with you.
Uh-huh.
I think
other than the very opening scene of episode 1.
The opening scene of episode 1 I think is one of the greatest openings.
Right. You said that
Marvel has done. I think it's one of the greatest sequences that they've done. Just the way it's one shot. I love the choreography of it. I know there's like some CGI iffy things that like honestly I think most people don't
looks
even
like
notice.
one shot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one shot. I love the heartbeat. Spoiler alert, I love Foggy's heartbeat. I love the choice they made. I love bold choices. And you come out of the gate with a bold choice. I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah.
So I love the opening sequence. I love the rest of the episode. I loved, Matt and Wilson's interactions. Like, I loved that was our return to this character.
I also really like that scene in the diner where they're talking to each other. Yeah.
And I think,
and I like sorry to interrupt if I'm interrupting your flow. Okay,
continue. It's okay.
Okay. I do like the fact that both Wilson and Matt are, like, they're basically walking a straight path, right? Mm-hmm. They're not really, what's his name? What's Wilson Fisk's, like, they're not really Kingpin and Daredevil anymore. They're just Mayor Fisk and Counselor Matt.
They're both suppressing.
You can see them slowly starting to be like, I can't do this. I need to be.
It's breaking through.
It's like trying to watch Bruce Wayne just be Bruce Wayne. It's like, but in his head, like he's Batman.
Yeah, it's so good, and that's one of the geniuses of that scene is, and that's why one of my conversations with Brad Winderbaum, the head of Marvel Television, was that in that moment it's them being honest about who they are.
Yeah.
For the first time. And they really can only be honest about themselves
with each other,
which is such an interesting thing for their dynamic.
And that's why it's interesting when Wilson Fisk is like, it's not entirely unpleasant to see you again, because even though they're enemies, right? It's like, you're the only person I can really be myself with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think this show is so far one of the best written things Marvel has ever done.
Yeah.
I love the suspense of the courtroom. I love the suspense of the moment, the choices, how each moment and choice had weight. I loved how that was written. Episode 4, I thought, was the weakest of the 4, outside of the scene where Punisher returns, and outside of Matt kind of hunting him down. Other than that, I felt like the episode could have been better, but that scene was so good that it elevates it.
Yeah. I also really liked the Punisher scene. I mean, obviously, everyone loved that scene, but it's like those two actors and characters are so good together, right? They are on the same team, but they have just enough philosophical difference to really create like these interesting dynamics where it's like they're not friends.
No,
they're but they're yelling, they're screaming at each other.
Yeah, and it's like I told you about this because you didn't watch the original show. You didn't see the Punisher. You didn't see
but I've seen like recaps.
Yeah,
I saw season 1. I saw like maybe like the first 2 episodes of season 2, and then I saw some recaps of like the previous seasons.
So the Punisher has this line of like, "Hey, one day you're gonna wake up and be just like me." And like I love that. Like this is kind of Matt's like realization almost of like, oh my gosh, he was right. And Punisher's like not saying I told you so. It's more like a loving like, hey, let me let you get there yourself.
He tried to kill Deadshot after
Bullseye,
whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, Deadshot's the guy from DC.
Yeah, it's okay. I won't yell at you this time.
Thank you. That's big of you. That's
really
actually huge of you.
I really just wanted to be like Deadshot.
No, you're the yell guy.
I am the yell guy.
Yeah,
that's awesome. But yeah, I just like he got life. And then Foggy didn't.
Did Foggy get life?
Yeah. It's so good.
No, I mean, like you said, the writing is actually good, which is something that I've been a skeptic of a lot of the Marvel projects recently. And a lot of them I just feel like have fallen so short, and I've been vocal about that. But this one, I mean, like, they're really not doing he's right behind me, isn't he?
They're not trying to, they're not all the jokes are
there even jokes?
There are things that like Matt Murdock does that's naturally funny.
Okay.
Like he's naturally such like a cocky asshole, you know?
Yeah.
Like when he's like,
I think he's snarky.
like when the guy's on the stand and he goes, and he's making fun of him for getting beat up.
Yeah,
he was the one
got
who
a
beat
black
him
eye,
up.
huh? Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
told you have a black eye.
I hear you're pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Or like the guy who's like laughing at it in episode 4. I love this. The guy's laughing at it. He's like, "Ha! See, that's funny because you're blind. You can't see." And then immediately Matt makes a joke when flirting. Is like, "Yeah, I think I think you look beautiful. I wouldn't know."
Oh yeah.
It's
He's
like it's
lovely
clever
as ever,
humor.
I assume.
Yeah,
Something
it's
like
not
that, yeah.
like it's not forced humor.
Yeah.
You know. And so I think that's why the humor in the show is like excelling in the sense of where it needs to excel. It's not like overbearing and it's not forced and just shoved in there.
Do you think that Wilson Fisk, because he genuinely cares about the city, right? He's making an honest effort to try to not be involved in the crime families, really. Like he's trying to step away from that and just be a mayor, actually. Do you think that he could, in this show, create positive change for New York, even though he's a villain, right?
I think he could, but I think
like, do you think the writers? I think it would almost be a cop out to be like Wilson Fisk, because he's the villain, he's going to make things worse for the city. He's a bad mayor. No. I think it would be much deeper if they were like Wilson Fisk, even though he's killed people, he has a criminal history and current criminal ties and all this kind of stuff. But maybe he's actually accomplishing some good. Like that would actually, I think, be a much deeper writing choice.
I think he is going to do good for the city.
Yeah.
I think obviously like part of it is the way he gets it done, which is going to be a problem.
He ignores a lot of the red tape.
I think and this is going to lead into my big Daredevil Spider-Man theory.
Okay.
Right? Because Spider-Man's not going to appear in Daredevil.
No.
Like let's just
they reference him, but
they'll reference him as vaguely as they can.
Yeah.
He legally cannot.
But Daredevil appears in the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, well that's legal.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. So obviously one of the big things is Fisk. Very anti-vigilante. I think it's just a theory. Again, we haven't seen episode 5. It's not out yet. At this point, I think it's pretty clear. I think Fisk may actually have something to do with the dirty cops killing Punisher.
Ooh,
almost like he encouraged it. I think.
You mean White Tiger?
Yes, White Tiger. Sorry. I think Fisk may have a hand. It's possible. It could very well just be dirty cops. What I think could end up coming to fruition. So there's a rumor out there that Spider-Man 4, the villain is going to be a female villain.
Okay.
And I think there's so many other elements that's going to come to play with Spider-Man 4. It's after Avengers Doomsday, before Secret Wars. There's going to be probably a lot of multiverse elements in that movie again.
Another multiverse Spider-Man
I honestly
movie?
I think it's so possible, especially with like Beyond Spider-Verse coming out at the same time. Like I think there's
every Spider-Man movie now is like a multiverse.
Yeah, and like I think it's
which is fine. I actually liked the Spider-Verse movies. I liked No Way Home. So.
Right, and so I think like it's unavoidable. You know, I think there's going to be so many elements that you can't have like a massive mega traditional villain, right? Like Green Goblin can't be the main villain. You can set him up, but it's not going to be the right time to have Green Goblin because he can't really be a focus. You know, it's probably not going to be about Peter versus Norman and Spider-Man versus Green Goblin. Yeah. So I think you have like a villain who's going to make life difficult for Spider-Man, but not necessarily be this main focus villain. So I think you played the Spider-Man PlayStation game, right?
It wasn't on PlayStation. I don't know which
Spider-Man
game. I played on PC.
Okay, but so you know Silver Sable.
Yeah.
The Sable International, all the military operations that was really kind of making Spider-Man's life hell and everything like that. I think Silver Sable is going to be introduced at the end of Daredevil Born Again, Season 1, potentially at the end of Season 2 Daredevil Born Again, because I think that will release before Spider-Man 4. I think she's going to be introduced to enforce Fisk anti-vigilante policies. Yeah. And I think that's where like his evil is going to shine through, is that he's going to be so anti-vigilante that he's going to cause chaos trying to make sure vigilantes aren't necessary. And he wants to take care of crime his way by being this bloody, like ruthless killer. Like that's what Fisk is going to reveal himself as, right?
Yeah.
He's going to break down and be Kingpin. So Kingpin's going to do it his way. He doesn't want a superhero doing it for him.
Which is almost like too obvious, where it's going to be like, okay, he's just going to become a killer again.
Right.
And then it actually does not have the effect that he wanted.
Right. But that's why like him hiring Silver Sable, I think it's like, okay, yeah, I'm going to take care of this military operation. So they're going to do the bloody work for me, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's my theory for Daredevil Born Again. I think they'll introduce Sable International and I would love it. I'd be very happy with it.
Okay.
So
How many episodes is it?
There's 9.
Okay.
9 episodes.
So we're a little less than halfway through.
We're
right
a
now.
little less. Tuesday will be the halfway point again. We're getting 2 episodes.
Okay.
We spoke a lot about Marvel television. I think it's too soon to rank Daredevil amongst other ones.
Right. You're a big.
It's got to be finished.
You're a big person on. We can't tell whether it's good or bad until
It can
it's
start
very
bad,
end.
and then the last 6 episodes are incredible. It can start great, and the last 6 episodes suck.
Yeah, but it can't just be like it's terrible, but the last episode is good. Like that
Yeah.
doesn't make the whole thing good.
No, so you got to know, you
Right.
got to know everything. You can't just I don't want to guess. Right now, it's on track to be the best Marvel show in my opinion.
Okay.
I can say that, but I don't rank it. Instead, I want to play a game with you.
Oh, okay. We have a game.
We have a game. So I originally, like I referenced, I got to interview Brad Winderbaum, head of Marvel Television. We weren't able to play this game. I didn't have a whole lot of time. He's a very busy man. So I'm going to play with you.
Okay.
The next best thing. I'm going to show you pictures of zoomed in screenshots of stills from Marvel shows on Disney Plus, and you're going to tell me what show they are from.
Okay.
Are you ready?
No, but I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
All right. The first one.
Okay, well that's Gambit in there. So this is X-Men. That's Storm's arm.
Mhm.
So this has got to be like X-Men. What's it? X-Men 76 or what's it called?
X-Men 97.
X-Men 97.
97.
97. Well, I got it right.
You got 50% of it right.
Well, I knew it was a number at the end.
You could have.
I just haven't seen the show.
X-Men 97. All right, I'll give you half a point for that.
Give me 75. Give me 75% of a point.
All right, fine. You get 75% of a point.
Okay.
Here you go.
What the hell is this? So this is a vest of some sort and a sleeve coming off. Why are you shaking your head like that?
Because this is so easy.
This is clearly somebody's costume.
If you actually watch the shows like I ask you to watch the shows, you would know this.
But there's so many shows.
I watch them just fine.
But I don't ask you to watch anything.
It's Daredevil. In She-Hulk.
This is Daredevil?
Yes, that is Daredevil, and it's from She-Hulk. The only show he wears that costume.
This is Daredevil.
That is Daredevil.
Never would have gotten that.
You're a disgrace. If you just watched the show.
Well, I started watching She-Hulk, but I didn't finish it.
Well, you should have finished it. You should have given it a chance. What did we just talk about?
That's why I said you're a big proponent for that, but I think you can tell whether or not a show is good or bad because if you're not enjoying it, you're not enjoying it.
Ridiculous.
Okay, so someone's hand. Is this Wanda maybe? Because I'm guessing that like they're doing like a this pose. So, I'm gonna guess WandaVision.
It's Agatha All Along.
Agatha All Along.
Did you watch Agatha All Along?
I watched the first 2 episodes.
You are pissing me
I was
off!
close. It was another witch. I was close.
Ridiculous.
Okay, this could be anybody. Okay, what is she doing? Is this... This might be WandaVision.
This is WandaVision.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, you're so ridiculous. All right.
I'm like halfway. Like I'm missing one, getting one, right?
This is gonna be kind of tough for you.
Okay. See, whoa! This could be the TVA. Like this could be some weird extra dimensional stuff going on. There's a lot of color in there. It looks like some sort of light source in the background. I'm gonna guess Loki.
It's Miss Marvel.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
It's Miss Marvel. Vibrant color. It's Miss Marvel, which
I just haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
you might want to familiarize yourself in some capacity.
With Miss Marvel?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I'll say.
All right. Oh, that's the Watcher, and that means that this is What If.
No,
What?
this is Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
How is this not What If?
Well, if you watched Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, like I've been begging you to watch,
There's
you would know.
20 shows. Dude.
You
There's
would know.
Too many.
It is so good. It is so good.
I have to watch Survivor season
Right now,
49.
Right now, you're 49
seasons! I have to watch Survivor season 49. I don't have time to watch your silly little shows, Berkan.
8 episodes and then 30 minutes, and currently, Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is my top.
I need
Marvel
to listen
show on
to
Disney Plus.
listen to Jeff Probst say the tribe has
We
spoken.
got 2 more.
Okay. Well, this is just a bunch of lines.
It's from
That's-
a clear scene that anyone would get.
Anyone would
get.
That could just be some clouds in the sky. That could be anything.
Chat, tell Michael he's stupid.
Don't do that, actually.
You're
chat.
0 Michaels out of 10
Actually,
Michaels
chat.
right now.
No, actually, chat. Ignore him. Chat. Twist his dick.
What?
grab his dick and twist it.
And twist it.
The old dick twist. I'm gonna guess Loki.
It's Moon Knight. They're in the desert. They're in Egypt, and they're doing
that's the desert. This is a desert.
It's the sky in the desert.
That's what I was saying. That could be the
Just
that could be
shut up.
clouds
It
in the
was Moon
sky.
Knight.
Well, this looks more like Moon Knight. That looks more like sand. That looks like it could be in Egypt in the Sahara. This better not be Loki. I swear to God. Okay? Hold on. What are the shows? Could this be? It's not Hawkeye, right? I'm waiting for Hawkeye to show up. There's Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This could be Falcon and the Winter Soldier, maybe. They go to a bunch of places in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
It's Loki.
This one's Loki? How is this one Loki? How is this? What scene is this Loki?
It's from the first scene of episode 1 of season 1. When he gets dumped
That's
out of the test
ridiculous.
That made me.
I can't believe the last one you did with the blue and the white, that one was not Loki. That one was Moon Knight. But then this one is not Moon Knight. This one's Loki. Tell me that does not look like the Sahara Desert. That is Egypt.
That's where he gets dumped
This
out.
is a rig. This game is rigged.
How is it rigged?
Because you're pulling up 2 pixels
You know what, Michael,
from any given
next
frame of
episode-
an entire show.
Next episode.
I haven't memorized the millions of frames in every 20 shows.
Next episode, why don't you do this to me?
With
All
what?
right? Same thing. We'll see if I can get it. We'll see if I can get the Marvel shows right. Let's see. Let's see if we can do this. I bet you I can. I bet you anything I can.
Here's my problem is that I want you to lose so bad that I would rig this game to where it wouldn't even be enjoyable because it would literally just be like 1 pixel.
I bet I could do it. No. Keep it fair. Do it the same way I did.
You want me to print out all these pictures too?
Yeah. I want you to do the work. I did the work.
You literally went to like CVS or something.
I did the work.
You got these printed
I
out.
care about the drive-in movie podcast.
All right.
My gosh. That's episode 2.
I guess that's episode 2.
So again, Patreons, if we get to 20 Patreons before April 29th, we will film us watching Revenge of the Sith and playing the drinking game exclusively to all Patreon members. So 20 people need to pay $1, and 20 people at least can enjoy this video.
We can do that.
We can do it. Also, be sure to follow us on
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and you can also follow us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
Can't you leave 5-star reviews on those podcasts?
So here's the deal, Berkan, is that if you're a $5 Patreon subscriber, we're gonna do this situation where you can leave us every month a movie opinion of yours, and we will read it on the pod and react to it, whether we agree or disagree with you. But you can also leave us your opinions for free for us to react to on the podcast. But there's a catch. If you're listening on Spotify, you have to follow the podcast on Spotify, all right? Leave a 5-star review, and then you have to comment your review. You have to comment your opinion. Sorry.
Okay.
So follow 5 stars, and then comment the opinion that you want us to read. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can follow us, and then when you leave the 5-star review, you can write your opinion in the review, and we'll read that on the podcast. And then if you're listening on YouTube, subscribe, and then leave your comment.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
So you can essentially get us to read and react to 3 of your movie opinions for free.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
I know, right?
Look at that BOGO. I love that.
But again, if we get 20 Patreons, then we'll do this drinking game.
Yeah, and that's only for Patreon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's only for Patreons. Now, we're gonna do one more challenge, right?
Okay.
If you can get us to 200 followers.
Wow.
200 followers by the next episode. So you got at least a week. Right. 200 followers on any platform. It could be TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. As long as one of them hits the 200 followers, we will go to a Minecraft movie, because coming soon on the Drive-In Movie Podcast is the highly anticipated A Minecraft Movie.
I'm so excited for this. The trailer looks like the kind of terrible movie that I love.
I am not allowed to talk about it.
Right, Berkan's already seen it. He saw it early.
I can't talk about it. 200 subscribers, and we will go watch the movie in suits.
We'll be dressed to the nines. We'll be wearing our Sunday best.
Yeah, we'll probably see it on a Sunday morning too. Probably.
Then it'll be fitting.
Yeah, it'll be fitting. So make sure you do that, because again. Oh, are you gonna say something?
Well, I was just gonna say thank you guys for driving in.
Oh yeah, thank you guys so much for driving in with us.
We had a great time.
We did. That's such a cute. I'm so proud of you.
I'm gonna say it every time.
You should.
Anyway, see you guys next week.
Thank you guys for driving in.